Given birth to a 26-week gestation male infant following an emergency cesarean section for placental abruption. Her baby weighs 840 grams. In her prenatal intake record, when asked about feeding preference, she communicated her choice of exclusive formula feeding. The nurse taking care of baby boy Smith has called me as the neonatal nurse practitioner and asked me to come to the bedside to update this new young mom. This will be my first interaction with Tanya, and this is her first time visiting her premature infant following her emergent cesarean delivery. Tanya is still hospitalized and has arrived to visit her infant in a wheelchair, accompanied by her mother baby nurse. I arrive in the single patient room and see Tanya viewing her baby inside the isolette with the wheelchair pulled up next to it. The porthole is open so that she may place her finger in her baby boy's hand. Baby boy Smith is intubated, ventilated, under phototherapy, and has umbilical lines placed for nutrition, hydration, blood pressure monitoring, and blood sampling. Hi there.
Hi.
My name is Emily, and I'm the neonatal nurse practitioner taking care of your baby today. How are you feeling?
I'm really sore from my incision, but I'm okay.
Okay, good. Congratulations, though. This was really kind of unexpected, huh?
Yeah, I was really scared when this happened, but I'm glad my mom was here to bring me to the hospital. Everything just happened so fast.
Yeah. I imagine it was quite frightening for you and your mom and not knowing what was going on. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad that your baby is safe here now with us. Would you prefer for me to call you Miss Smith or Tanya? Or
Tanya's good. You can call me
Tanya. Okay, cool. Jesslyn, his nurse, called me so that I could come give you an update about all of this overwhelming stuff that you see here with your little one. I'm here working with Dr. Carol today. She's the neonatologist, and neonatologist just means fancy name for a premature baby doctor. Have you had a chance to meet her yet?
No.
Okay. So you're going to have lots of opportunities to spend time with the care team and the neonatologist and all of the providers and the nurses. And we all work as a team here to provide care for your baby.
Great.
All right, Tanya, so have you named him yet?
I want his name to be Evan, but I have to ask his dad first.
Okay. I love that name. So before we start, is there anything that you have on your mind that you really want to talk about first or have questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. First, let me just give you a generalized update on how Evan's doing. So you can see he's got the breathing tube in that goes to the ventilator. He's really requiring minimal settings right now. We've been able to kind of turn down things, and he's doing a lot of the breathing on his own. So based on his blood gases and all of the things that we look at clinically, I would like to pull that tube out later today, and we call that extubate. And that just means that if that tube would come out, you'd be able to hear his little voice. We'd put him on something else support-wise called CPAP, which just makes it so that he doesn't have to work as hard to breathe. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, do you think I'll be able to hold him then?
So I would love for you to be able to hold him then. So with babies as little as Evan, we do something called neuroprotective care. So for the first 72 hours of life, we like to keep them just completely straight. So we don't jostle their little brains around. And then the other thing is that he's got lines, and one of them in his belly button. One of them is called an arterial line. And with that line in, we don't like them to be held. It's just not very safe. So after that comes out and that arterial line and the 72 hours is up, we will let you go in and be able to hold him. And I would love for you to do something called kangaroo care. And that just means we put his little naked self on your chest, and it's really great for moms, it's great for babies, and it's also good for dads too.
Okay, I can't wait to hold him.
Good. So this brings me to my next topic. I really want to start some feedings on Evan today. Just some small ones. We call those trophic. It's just a fancy name for giving some small feeds, and we usually do the same amount for about 3 or 4 days. And it just kind of coats its inside of his intestines and protects them. And I noted in your prenatal record early on in the very first part of your pregnancy that when they asked at your OB visit what your feeding preference was, and it just was checked exclusively formula. Have you changed your mind on that?
I don't know. Formula is like really weird to me. Like it's kind of gross, and like that's what my boyfriend told me too.
Breast milk? Okay, yeah. So I totally get that. It's a weird concept, especially for somebody who's young, and this is all very overwhelming to have your body making this fluid. But that fluid is being made specifically for Evan, and it's. Do you know that anybody who has ever provided breast milk to their baby before?
Like my mom tried, but people made fun of her for it, so she stopped.
Yeah, it's really hard to do something like that when you don't have support,
Yeah.
especially support of your family or support of people in your community. But what I want you to know is we have a lot of support here in the NICU. We have not only the bedside nurses and us as providers, but we have specialty nurses called lactation consultants, and they actually will come in and help you and teach you about how important it is to provide that milk for Evan. Do you think you might consider talking to a lactation consultant?
I mean, yeah, I really want to do what's best for my baby, but I'm still worried about my boyfriend making fun of me.
Yeah, I'd be happy to sit down with him, like with the two of you, and just talk about why it's so important for you to provide your breast milk. We can give Evan donor breast milk, but it's doesn't have the nutrients or the protective antibodies that you can provide for Evan. And of course, we have to have your consent to give donor milk. Formula is kind of a last resort because it doesn't have any of those protective um, qualities to it like the breast milk does. And it's kind of a catch 22 because he's not fully ready to feed, but we have to do something to protect his intestines. And um, so they don't get sick. So, like when he was inside you, the amniotic fluid that he swallowed provided that protection.
I didn't know my body could do all of that for Evan, and that makes a lot of sense, and it really sounds cool. I think it would be helpful if you could talk to my boyfriend Sam about it too, because you really explained it much better than me, and it would be weirder to give my baby somebody else's breast milk
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I'd be so happy too. So Sam is your boyfriend?
Yes, and he's also Evan's dad. We were really freaked out when I got pregnant.
Okay, I bet you were.
Yeah.
This is a lot to take on, and now with Evan making his little grand entrance into the world so early, you both have a lot on your plate. I'd be more than happy to talk with Sam and your mom because your mom is going to be one of your biggest support people too.
Yeah.
Are they going to come today?
Yeah, my mom just texted me they should be here soon. They're coming to pick us up.
Okay, awesome. In the meantime, can I call lactation and see if we can't have them come chat with you?
Yeah, I think I'd like to talk to them about maybe pumping for Evan, especially like if it's going to be really good for him. I'd rather have him have my milk than someone else's.
That's awesome. I'm really proud of you. I will have Jesselyn call Debbie, and she's a lactation consultant that's here today. We can get you set up with a pump. The great things about these private rooms is that you can shut the door, pull the curtain, watch something on your phone while you pump. This is your place to spend with Evan for the next several weeks. You're going to be here with us for a long time, and we're here to support you.
Thank you
Okay?
so much.
You're welcome.